on to the championships. Why didn't he win any championships until he was older? Why did he miss so many opportunities to win championships? Going to the finals, I believe, 9 times in his career. There's different answers to number one. I'll say the same thing that I said about Michael Jordan. It's not Charles Barkley's fault, or Karl Malone's fault, or Patrick Ewing's fault, or different guys. Alonzo Mourning. Well, I think Alonzo Mourning ended up winning a championship in 2016 with the Heat, but John Stockton. It's not these guys' fault that they didn't win a championship. They played against Michael Jordan. They played in the Michael Jordan era. It's not Jerry West's fault that he didn't win a championship. He played during the Bill Russell era. It's not his fault. He played when the most dominant team was at the peak of their powers. It was a dynasty. It's probably the greatest dynasty in sports history. You can talk about Murderers Row with the Yankees in the 20s and the dynasty Yankees in the 50s. That's up there too. But 11 championships and 13 seasons in the NBA, I think that's pretty much the greatest dynasty in sports history. Then you also have to look into the fact that as great as Elgin Baylor was, and he was great, he sometimes shot. It was a battle between him and West as far as who was the top scorer. After 1965, Jerry West pretty much became the de facto leader of that team. Before that, it was more or less Elgin Baylor. With West taking on an increasing role. Baylor, as great as he was only about a 43% career field goal shooter. Contrast that to West, who shot better than 47% for his career. And Baylor sort of shot his teams out of some games. I don't know whether or not sometimes there was this, sometimes we romanticize the past and think that these guys were all lovey-dovey and teammates, and and you didn't have these competitive, I'm going to show this guy, I'm going to score more points. I'm pretty sure some of that happened sometimes in that era. And I'm pretty sure that Baylor sometimes wanted to supersede West at times and take on too many shot attempts. He took more shot attempts than any player in NBA history. And I think there's a lot of ample evidence to suggest that Baylor cost the Lakers some championships. I'm not trying to say, I'm not trying to shit on Elgin Baylor. I'm just speaking facts here. And I think sometimes players, there's too much of an emphasis on championships now. And I blame the media culture. I blame this winning is everything culture. Believe me, all these players do play to win championships. But championships are not a true measure of a player's greatness. They add to a legacy. They are not the all-be-all measurement of greatness. Production is. And it's another thing I want to say. People say stats don't matter. Okay, if stats don't fucking matter, then why do you look at the numbers on your paycheck? Thank you, sit down. And anyway, Jerry West to me is the second greatest shooting guard of all time because of one key aspect, and that is postseason production. And he is, in many ways, I think you can make the argument that outside of Michael Jordan, he is the second greatest postseason performer in NBA history. I think he holds the series average record for most points. I think it was 46.3 points per game. I think it was against I think they were the Washington Bullets or the Baltimore Bullets at the time. I'm going to check. think they might have still been the Baltimore Bullets in 1965. I think he averaged 46.3 points per game in that playoff series. And Jerry West was just incredible, man. I'm going to go through his seasons as far as postseason and give you his postseason numbers. 22 points is a points per game. 22.9, 31.5, 27.8, 31.2, 40.6. That's the year he averaged the record-breaking 46.3 against the Bullets. 34.2. The next year he was injured. 30.8, 30.9, 31.2, and then this is when he was transitioning to a point guard. 22.9, 23.6, and that very next year the numbers are really don't indicate much because he was injured. All coalescing to a 29.1 points per game scoring average in the postseason. The numbers don't indicate just as much he meant to his teams. Shot a very high percentage for him for the postseason, 47%. And his career average as far as numbers, 27 points per game, 5.8 rebounds, 6.7 assists. The 71-72 season, he averaged 25.8 points and 9.7 assists. Had a season shooting over 50% from the field. He was an incredible overall talent. His other accolades include winning the championship in 1971-72 season. He's the only player to win Finals MVP in a losing campaign in the 1969 NBA Finals. I believe he averaged 40.6 points per game. I might be off by a few fractions on that one. He was a 14-time NBA All-Star. He was 1972 NBA All-Star Game MVP. The 1969-1970 NBA Scoring Champion. 10 times an All-NBA First Team. 2 times the All-NBA Second Team. 4 times he was an All-NBA All-Defensive First Team. And he was on the 1969 NBA All-Defensive Second Team. This team did not start until he was over 30 years of age. So he would have been on more teams than that. He was 1971-72 NBA assist leader. And I haven't really gone to his collegiate career. I'm not a big follower of college, but I believe he played for the West Virginia Mountaineers. And he was the NCAA Final Four Most Outstanding Player in 1959. He was the SoCon Player of the Year twice. He was the 2-time consensus First Team All-American player, 1959-1960. He's on the NBA's 35th anniversary team, and I believe that was 1972. And he was on the 1997 50th anniversary team in 1997. His number 44 is retired by the Los Angeles Lakers. He's also been a very successful executive. Probably, when I think about it, he might be the most successful superstar as far as transitioning to management, as far as the game is concerned. He won the Olympic gold in Rome in 1960, and he won the Olympic gold in 1959 in Chicago. Jerry West, the logo, and I believe he is the second greatest shooting guard of all time.